Hey guys, what is going on? This is JackAttack45, and today I have a WZ-111, WZ-111, however you'd like to say it, review for you. This is the new Tier 8 Premium Tank that came out recently over Christmas, and this was actually released for a mission reward. If you got a lot of kills, did a lot of damage over the Christmas holiday, you ended up with this tank, and I actually did it, and kills were a little bit excessive, but that's okay. What do you have to know about this tank? Well, it's basically the Chinese version of the IS-6. Very, very similar same matchmaking, similar gun with one glaring exception, similar armor profile with another lower front plate exception, and it has a little bit better mobility, which is nice. Not as good of rate of fire. Overall, very, very similar to the IS-6. If you'd like to learn about this, how to beat it, or if you're just here to check out the awesome replay that's at the end, because I think it ended up being a pretty good game, make sure to drop a like or subscribe. We'll be doing some more World of Tanks videos in the future. But let's get back to this WZ-111. First of all, how to beat it. Right here, lower front plate. This thing, lower front plate armor is very bad. It is about 100 millimeters effective armor, and it is very, very sad. The other way to beat it, if it is side scraping off a corner, this is very weak, and also apparently contains ammo racks, because I get ammo racked here all the time. Don't even worry about shooting the turret. The cupolas are weak points. I think they're about 120 effective, and I would be showing Tank Inspector, guys, but for some reason my Tank Inspector would not record at all. But if you see a 111 side scraping from either angle, here or here, just pen that. It's really easy to pen, and it becomes more flat as you side scrape it. And that's one of the big weaknesses of the tank, is those two spots right there, especially with those ammo racks. But let's talk about the gun. 122 millimeter, like I said, very similar to the IS-6. 175 millimeters of pen with its normal rounds and 250 heat penetration. That is one of the big weaknesses of this tank in comparison to the IS-6. It fires heat for its gold rounds, which is not good, because this 250 millimeters of pen definitely lies when you're going against things like IS-6s or IS-3s. They will bounce more often than not, especially because this gun is very inaccurate at .46 accuracy, and it takes a very long time to aim at 3.4 seconds. So if you are fighting a 111 and you can get some angled armor in front of it and they're shooting the heat at you, you are good. Just use your spaced armor. You will be able to deflect shots. This thing, if you aren't able to pen with your normal AP rounds, it gets pretty dicey. And then there's been a lot of times where I've had heat loaded and I wish I wouldn't, because this heat is just not very good. But even with that, it still does fire in every 10.5 seconds. So it's pretty good, pretty decent rate of fire. It's not as great as the IS-6, but still pretty good. I do think the mobility makes up for a little bit. It does get a 520 horsepower engine with 45 tons, so okay horsepower per ton ratio. What else do we have to talk about? Well, like I said, the armor, very weak right here, very weak right here. This thing is made of ammo racks, like I said. You really have to watch out for that. This is the spot I get ammo racked most. I've actually gotten ammo racked when it bounced off the turret and went in between the turret and the hole. You really got to watch out for that. The other thing you have to watch out for while side scraping is that it only has 80 millimeters of side armor, and I think there's only about 30 millimeters of spaced armor. So this tank is very long. There is a very large engine deck back here. You have to watch out for artillery. You also have to watch out for side scraping, because this back end of the tank sticks out very far. All around, though, I think this is a very good tank. Luckily, it only sees tier 8s and tier 9s. If it's on anything higher, it would get destroyed. If it did see tier 10s, obviously that's why they made it a preferential matchmaking tank. In terms of equipment-wise, I run vert stab, rammer, and vents. Pretty standard for any heavy that's above tier 7, tier 8. And equipment, I just try to keep it nice and simple, because I would like to make some money. Now this tank actually makes really good credits. I think my average right now is about 76,000, which is pretty good. I've also won a lot of games in this thing, and I'll just show you my my games played and my win rate in this tank. And so far, I've actually been playing pretty well in it. I have 2,100 damage in it and 64% win rate with almost 1,200 base experience. So the average XP per battle multiplier is actually pretty high in this tank. It also gets some pretty good credit multiplier, and I think Wargaming did that is because not a lot of people are going to be playing it, because it was a reward tank, and it was a very expensive tank if you ended up deciding to buy it. So Let me know your thoughts of the WZ-111 down in the comment section below. If you guys do enjoy it, of course, tell me. If you don't enjoy it, tell me. If the ammo racks are basically like the Leo 1, tell me that as well, because I think that's what I'm coming to find out so far. But let's go on over to the replay and see how it performs in-game. Alright, and here we go with the WZ-111. This is on Lakeville, and this was one of the very first games that I actually played in this tank. Because I don't have camo on it yet, I did end up getting camo on it. But this is a pretty good matchup for the WZ. This is what you're going to see 50% of the time. You do only see tier 8s and tier 9s. I have Buzzard and Virus in my platoon. And Buzzard is also playing in his WZ, so hopefully we'll be able to support each other along with Virus in his T29, seeing the exact same tiers as we do. And as you can see, our team is fairly heavy. There is a lot of heavy tanks on this map. The one bad thing about spawning on Lakeville in this position is these tank destroyers that like to camp here. They do shoot you through here. Very unfortunate, but the WZ will hopefully show us how its armor can work. And now you can see this glorious aim time that is the WZ-111. It's, like I said guys, very similar to the IS-6, so if you do have that, it is a very good comparison. Now what you're going to see in this game is a lot of fail heat usage, because I was just getting used to the fact that this heat on this gun is just not very good. If I had APCR at any point in time during this replay, I would have ended up a lot better. Now, let's start off, and there is a WZ on the enemy team. You do have to watch out for that, and I almost get shot here, but you do see the terrible accuracy of... Actually, that was the post that ended up blocking that one. So luckily for me, I did not take any damage there. But I'm going to go into a position where the WZ will shine here in 1 second, once I figure out how to maneuver this behemoth around this building. And like I said, guys, this tank is very, very long, has a very long backside to it, and it takes me a while to get used to the fact that it doesn't have the best turning circle. It's very, very wide. It's got a lot of junk in the trunk, as they might say. But we're going to be pushing down here into one of my favorite spots on Lakeville Encounter for heavy tanks, and I do actually bounce a shot there from the T-34-3, so that is nice. The armor actually held up, and I think that one went into the upper front plate. Luckily it didn't damage my ammo rack, because that is a very, very tricky spot on the WZ-111. If people are able to shoot you there, normally it does take out your ammo rack. But we do put a good shot into that T-34, and what we're able to do here is we're able to go hull down pretty much perfectly. We can use this little rock outcropping to block any shots at our lower plate, and we're able to put some damage here into the WZ and the Chiri, actually, that comes out of nowhere. We're already down 2 tanks though, so we do have to be watching. The one major problem that we had this game was that they took the lake road, and we kind of had to stay in cover. And as you can see, the Virus gets taken out there because of the fact that he was out in the middle over there. Not the best place to be when they are pushing around the one side. But I was able to snipe that WZ-111, so we're able to take him out of the game, and we can push ahead. Now, what am I looking at here? Well, I'm seeing behind us there is a lot of tanks coming up from our spawn. They sent a lot of tanks down through the valley, and we were able to put a shot into the Tiger P there. And we have to push and try to force them on a cap. We have to force them to come to us. So what do I have to do? I have to get this Chiri was being pretty tricky all game. Luckily he wasn't paying attention. Able to put another shot into there, but he was being annoying, keeping our other heavies on their toes. Now, in this case, the WZ is able to take advantage of its armor. A lot of people haven't really ever seen this tank before. They might think it's the Tier 9 because it looks exactly the same, except for the gun. And they might not know where to shoot it. People that have played against Chinese tanks, which is very few people, because not a lot of people do actually play Chinese tanks, but that lower plate, basically on any Chinese tank, that's where you want to shoot them. So this Chiri is going to get tracked there. Nice roll for 441, and that puts me up over the 3,000 damage mark there. And I do take my first damaging shot from the Tiger P. Good job by him to see that I was reloading and poke around that corner. And he was able to put one shot into me. But this is looking grim right now, guys. 4-7. And I definitely want to try to push and take out this Tiger P, but I am kind of worried about where that's... yeah, Jagdpanther is, and he actually is out now. So now I know there is no tank destroyers camping up in that corner. Like I said, guys, the problem with Encounter on Lakeville is you can get shot from right there. And I am still worried about that Panther, that 12T, and that T-34 that are on the Lake Road. But the WZ is doing pretty standard stuff. I mean, this is pretty standard gameplay for a Tier 8 Premium. And as you saw there, you might not have seen it, but Buzzard in our other WZ-111 actually shot our T-20, and I was not very happy at him for doing that. The other thing we have to notice about this match is that there is 3 artillery on the enemy team. That's why I'm trying to hug the buildings as best as I possibly can. And trying to get a shot on this IS-3, but of course my glorious gun depression is failing me, and not able to stop that IS-3 from getting a free shot in on the Black Prince. So basically, this is our Alamo right now. We are surrounded by all the enemy team, and the glorious pen of the 111 shines its true colors there as the GW Panther takes out the other Black Prince. Now, you will see here in a second just how bad this heat penetration is. I end up trying to switch in between and trying to use it to the best of my ability, but like I said, I was just getting used to it, and we are able to put one in through the front plate there of the IS-3, and we're able to get behind that pillar and able to block his shot. Now, like I said, this is pretty standard matchups. This is a pretty standard matchup for the WZ. Basically everything you see, with the exception of, I'd say, E75s, you are able to pen pretty reliably with the heat. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the game, you guys will see what happens when I try to switch in between heat and APCR, or heat and AP with this tank. It is very weird. Now watch this shot here, guys. Actually bounces, and I have no idea how. I was definitely aimed at his drive wheel, and he has 382 hit points, so I'm thinking, okay, I can get one more shot into him and I can take him out. And he kind of makes a mistake here and stays a little bit too long, and of course I roll for 374. Now this is a very, very good argument as to why even with 8 hit points you can win the game. So that was 401 damage I just took from him. He has 8 hit points left. Remember that coming soon. So now, ignoring the T-34-3 for the moment, I have to deal with the IS-3 and the Panther as well because they are rushing me. So I'm able to put one into the Panther, take him out, and that was a AP shot. And the T-34-3, recognizing that, is able to put another 386 damage shot into me. And as you guys can see, it was into that little spot there that I showed you guys earlier, where the ammo rack just seems to get toasted every time. Now, of course, he puts another shot into me, and you didn't see it, but I actually ended up bouncing the IS-3, and then I have I have AP loaded, and it doesn't go through. So there's been 2 times where I've had heat loaded and it's bounced, and I'm trying to make sure that I get out of the T-34-3's gun line, and he doesn't have a shot. So I'm able to finish off the IS-3 right there with a nice little shot through the top of the turret. I'm now on 4.5k damage, and there's still 2 artillery left, and I think that the KV-5 is able to help me. Well, at least I would hope so. And of course, 8 hit points, he's able to take him out. So basically, guys, this game was lost because I rolled for 374 on a guy that had 382 hit points. It's so sad. In the end, guys, what do I think about the WZ-111? Well, I like it. I like playing it. It's a preferential matchmaking tank. It's fun to have armor, and of course I bounced that one because I heat loaded. Of course, that would have won the game right there if I would have AP loaded. But of course, you know, WZ has to troll me. It is a very, very troll tank to play. I will give it that. Sometimes it will bounce. Sometimes you will get great games, but other times, like this, it just leaves him on 8 hit points and you end up losing the game because of it. So if it ever does come back on sale, I would say only get it if you already have an IS-6 and you just want something to train your crews. I really don't think it's that much better than the... I don't think it's better than the IS-6. I think it's basically the same tank, and it just suffers from that glorious heat. It is a little faster. It is a little bit more mobile. It plays a little bit more like a medium, but with that gun, I just really wouldn't recommend it over the IS-6. I'd still say the IS-6 pretty much every day. And there you go. The GW Panther takes me out. So guys, if you did enjoy this replay or this review, make sure to drop a like in the comment section down below. I will be doing some more reviews and replays. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, you can also come check out my stream. I'll leave the link down in the description below. Guys, I hope you did enjoy. This has been Jacket Tech 45, signing out. Peace.